Your mind is a prison and you don't even realize it. Every anxiety spiral, every 3 a.m. overthinking session, every relationship you've sabotaged, they're all symptoms of the same problem. Your inner world is completely fucked. I'm not building much in today's video because honestly, I'm having one of those days where my own mind won't shut up. And that's exactly why we need to talk about this. Look, 90% of guys in their 20s are walking around with mental chaos they can't escape. They're drowning, but nobody can see it. If that's you, stop scrolling right now, hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Because what I'm about to share isn't some feel-good Christian fluff. It's the practical system I use to completely rebuild my mental landscape from the ground up. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint that works when everything else has failed. This isn't theory. This is survival. Your inner world didn't get messed up overnight. Think about it. You've had years of social media warping your expectations, comparison traps making you feel inadequate, and digital dopamine destroying your ability to focus. And that's not even mentioning the spiritual warfare happening in your mind. Most guys don't realise they're operating with corrupted mental software. You think those constant negative thoughts are normal. You think everyone deals with crippling self-doubt. You think the emptiness you feel when you're alone is just part of being an adult. It's not. Scripture tells us the battle begins in the mind. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. But let's be real, nobody ever taught you how to actually do that in practical terms. The reality is that most solutions you've tried have failed because they only address symptoms, not the root cause. Therapy gives you coping mechanisms, but not purpose. Church tells you to pray more, but doesn't show you how to rewire your thought patterns. Self-improvement gurus sell you productivity hacks while ignoring your spiritual foundation. It's time to stop treating the symptoms and rebuild the entire system from the ground up. Forget all that psychoanalysis BS about identifying childhood wounds. You don't need to spend months digging through your past to fix your present. What you need is practical self-awareness that leads to immediate action. Here's how it actually works. Start paying attention to your thought patterns in real time. When negative thoughts or anxiety hit, ask yourself one simple question. Is there something I can do about this right now? If the answer is yes, go do it immediately. Not tomorrow, not when you feel like it. Right now. Text that apology you've been putting off. Call that person you've been avoiding. Clean up that mess you've been ignoring. Taking immediate action breaks the cycle of overthinking and builds momentum. If the answer is no, then your obligations are lifted. Let it go completely. But here's the key. If you said no and still can't stop thinking about it, that's your soul telling you there is something you can do. Maybe it's buying a cheeseburger for the homeless guy you pass every day. Maybe it's finally having that difficult conversation. Maybe it's serving others in some small way. The point is, your inner world isn't fixed through analysis. It's fixed through awareness followed by action. Scripture talks about being doers of the word, not hearers only. Your thoughts improve when your actions improve, not the other way around. This isn't complicated or mystical. It's straightforward. See the thought, ask the question, take the action. Repeat daily until it becomes instinct. These negative thoughts aren't actual demons, but you should treat them like demons in spiritual warfare. What's truly happening is much more profound than most people realise. That anxiety you feel, that depression that weighs on you, those aren't just chemical imbalances or random emotions. They're actually God calling you to an insane mission that only you can fulfill. The fact that you experience these intense inner battles means you're carrying something special, something the world desperately needs. When that demon says to procrastinate by scrolling through social media, recognize it immediately. The moment you catch yourself mindlessly scrolling, put the phone down without negotiation. This isn't just about productivity, it's about honouring the extraordinary calling on your life that most men will never experience. When that demon says you should smoke because you work too hard and need to relax or you'll be an arsehole to your friends, challenge it directly. I recognise this attack on my purpose. I bet you would hate it if I stayed clear-headed and just told my friends I love them instead. Your clarity of mind isn't just for you. It's for the mission God has prepared specifically for someone with your unique struggles and strengths. When that demon whispers at 2 a.m. that you're nothing and have no potential, don't just lie there letting it torture you. Get up and make progress on something meaningful until you can fall asleep again. Don't scroll, don't distract. Make actual progress until your eyes get heavy. Those 2 a.m. battles aren't random. They're preparation for the extraordinary impact you'll have that ordinary men couldn't handle. Only the crazies win in this world. The ones called to missions so important that the enemy works overtime to stop them. The intensity of your inner battles is directly proportional to the significance of your calling. Average men don't face these struggles because they're not carrying the weight of extraordinary purpose. Your anxiety, your depression, your inner chaos, these are all evidence that you've been marked for something that terrifies the enemy. Your purpose is completely unique and directly correlates to how you naturally relate to the world. God built you perfectly for a specific mission that only you can fulfill. This isn't generic spiritual talk, it's the practical reality of your existence. Think about the guy who's always been fascinated by weather patterns since he was a kid. He notices cloud formations others ignore and can sense a storm coming hours before anyone else. That's not just a random interest, it's preparation. Maybe he's meant to be the meteorologist who spots the unusual pattern that leads to an early tornado warning, saving an entire community that would have otherwise had no time to take shelter. Or consider the man who struggled with addiction for years but finally found his way out. Every battle, every relapse, every hard-won insight wasn't wasted. It was equipping him to guide others through the exact same darkness with a map only someone who's walked that path could create. When you examine what naturally draws your attention, what problems you instinctively notice, what activities energize rather than drain you, these aren't random preferences. They're divine signals pointing to your specific calling. The things that light you up aren't accidents, they're equipment for your mission. God doesn't waste anything in your design. That odd combination of interests that doesn't seem to make sense, that unique perspective that others don't share, the specific way your mind processes information. All of these are custom-built tools for a purpose that perfectly fits you. Act as if your moment is coming, because it is. Train, prepare, and develop yourself not out of anxiety, but out of certainty. Your unique divine design isn't an accident. It's preparation for a moment, a person, or a situation that will need exactly who you are. This isn't about becoming some perfect version of yourself with no struggles or doubts. It's about becoming a man who faces his demons directly, who recognizes the extraordinary calling on his life, and who takes action despite fear. Your inner world didn't get messed up overnight, and it won't be fixed overnight either. But the path forward isn't complicated. It's about courage in the daily battles. It's about treating those negative thoughts like demons that need to be defied, not negotiated with. It's about recognizing the divine design in your unique makeup. Starting today, commit to one simple practice. When you catch those negative thoughts, do the exact opposite of what they suggest. When the voice says scroll, put the phone down. When it says isolate, reach out. When it says you're nothing at 2 a.m, get up and make progress until you fall asleep. Remember that you're not fixing your inner world for yourself alone. You're preparing for a mission that only you can fulfill. Every battle you win internally equips you to help others win theirs. Your purpose is directly tied to how you're naturally wired to see and interact with the world. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Some days you'll win, some days you'll lose. But the men who change the world aren't those who never fall. They're the ones who keep getting back up. If this video resonated with you, hit subscribe and that notification bell. This channel is about building men who are spiritually alive, mentally strong, and ready for their unique calling. Drop a comment below about which part hit you hardest, and remember, your inner battles aren't a mistake. They're preparation for something extraordinary.